Hi everyone. So today I have with me Shreya. Shreya is the recent ranker, All India Rank 1 in November 2020 in IPCC Intermediate Exams, what is called today. So first of all, Shreya, big congratulations to you. You have achieved a big thing right now. I think the feeling would be sinking in. So how are you feeling, Shreya, right now? Has the
Uh,
feeling sunk in yet, or what's going on?
okay, first of all, thank you for having me. Um, the feeling is great, and it has been 3 weeks since results were out. So I think it is gradually sinking in, but still, there are times where it feels like, okay, this is something unbelievable for me.
No, of course, everybody feels. I think it will take a month or so to completely digest that, and then you can move on with your future career thing. So
Yeah.
first, Shreya, tell us about yourself first. Some brief background. Where are you from? Where have you studied till now? What is your background? So
Okay, so my name is Shreya Agrawal. I'm from Ahmedabad basically, and I've done my schooling from Ahmedabad too. Then in like after my 12th standard, I joined CA course. I did my CA foundation. In that, I had gotten 13th rank, and then I got inter CA Air 1. And I have been good academically over the school life too. So yeah, this is basically about me.
thanks, Shreya. So tell me this, yeah. Okay, you were a ranker in CA Foundation. So in IPCC, you'd be thinking about rank also. Your studies would be according to that. But were you thinking that you can get rank one? Like, can you?
So after my CA foundation results were out and like we were in preparation mode for inter, rank was in my mind that I wanted to achieve a rank, but air one I cannot expect because it is also relative to other people's performance and we cannot estimate that. And I guess my main goal after foundation was getting good marks, good accuracy, good understanding in all subjects. And if we do that focus on that, we generally get a rank, I feel.
Yeah, the focus is very important. So tell me this, once you clear your CA foundation, so how was your journey of your classes? Like, what did you do? Which subjects to start first, which subjects to start later? How was that? Like, how did you plan that after your CA foundation? And you have, I guess, 9 months before, after your
uh,
foundation results and everything. So tell us about
uh,
that.
Actually, my exams were over in November 19. So I had started my classes just after exams. I did not wait for results. So the coaching had started for few of the practical subjects like accounts, advanced accounts, costing, and GST. These were the subjects which were started simultaneously. And I guess till after, even after the result till Feb, these subjects were focused a lot, and therefore even I studied these subjects first. But then due to the lockdown, everything came to a halt, and it then there was a brief vacation period for 1 or 2 weeks, and after that I had access to video lectures only. So in that, my major focus was completing one subject at a time rather than taking all the subjects together, or I just took 1 or 2 subjects
Right.
instead of doing all subjects together, which was being done earlier.
Mhm.
And before 3 months to the exam, I completed my all lectures, and after that, I started my revisions.
Okay, so 3 months was given for revision time, and before that, you were able to complete. And along with your classes, were you able to focus on like let's study this particular subject? How? So you're saying that you used to take one or two subjects and study that apart from your classes. That was your focus.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you never used to. Yeah, that's what people want to know also.
Actually, in the initial time, I did not study a lot with classes. But then, I guess before I started my revision time, that is before 3 months prior to the exam, in before that 3 months, like from April, May, June, these were the 3 months I really started studying even after classes, or along with classes, focusing like giving 15 days to each subject along with classes, and trying to cover all chapters from all areas so that I don't have to start my first read after the coaching is done.
Right. So also tell us about the importance of maintaining the notes when you study in classes, the timetable you have to maintain for your studies. What were the strategies you like followed while doing your own revision from after your classes are done? So you have to revise. So what is the strategy you followed?
Okay, so for notes, I think you should start making notes, from the starting, because they take a lot of time to prepare. And if you start them at the end or during your revision periods, you will feel that you're wasting too much time and you'll end up not making them. So instead, gradually make one chapter notes together as you complete each chapter. And I feel what I aimed was that I wanted at least 85% of the notes completed before my revision started, so that I can focus more on, revising, understanding the concept and learning the things, rather than focusing on making the notes
Yeah.
during the revision time.
Later on, everyone should not be like, जब classes चल रही है, you should make notes that time only, whatever is
Yes.
taught, so that notes should be in the flow, so that, and also you understand. Don't just write कि खुद को ही समझ नहीं आ रहा है. It used to happen with me in IPCC. I remember कि मैंने क्या लिखा मेरे को भी समझ नहीं आ रहा. So your notes should be proper, so that you don't waste time at the end. At the end, revision के लिए you have to keep like 3 months he has kept. Like even I guess 2-3 months are required for revision in the end. So in our time was very different, but yeah, we'll go with your strategy only right now. So like Shreya, if we go subject wise, I don't want you to be in detail about each and every subject, but what are the important points to be remembered while doing particular subjects? Like first would be your account subject. So what will be more focused? How should be more focused? What will be a strategy for these subjects?
Okay, so first if we talk about accounts and advanced accounts, the strategy is similar. We have one part AS and second part of practical chapters. So for AS, you can read the module itself and for and practice questions from, if you have any extra book, or maybe practice questions from MTPs, RTPs, past papers. Because if you cover all, like I had 4 attempts before me for new syllabus. So I had done the past papers, MTPs and RTPs of all those to, also develop your language. If you keep on revising the module language from the module itself, you'll get bored. So instead, if you revise them from RTPs and MTPs and past papers, you'll be revising, but also you won't be bored about it. And it will be in a question answer form. So that would be great. And for practical chapters, obviously do the module and prepare notes for even the practical subjects. Notes in sense, just write basic things of the chapter which are required to be kept in mind for concept wise. And secondly, you can write down the pro forma in a book for all the things which are new, like a balance sheet and everything, and just write down the questions which you need to do or which are difficult, or maybe just highlight the points in the question itself, like, okay, this is the point which is new, rather, and the except this all is normal question type only. So for accounts and advanced accounts, this is the strategy.
Important questions should be marked. Your notes should be proper. Mock RTPs are very important because that gives you a sense कि exam में questions कैसे पूछे जाएंगे and how do you write answers for that. So you'll understand from that. So next, moving on to is law. Law and audit we can take together because काफी theory subject है.
Yes. But for law, I had made proper notes, like, from module language. I had, while making notes, you should make sure that you don't write them only in points. Ensure that you draw some flowcharts, connect at least 2-3 topics together, so that as many linkings as you have to one topic, the more it is probable that you learn that thing. And include sections in your notes. For me, sections were so helpful. It helped me divide each provision. Like, okay, if it is 83, I can remember, okay, 83 has this provision. Section helped me remember the provision. So if you start writing the sections with the notes and making them a point of source or for the provision, you'll be able to remember them. You can also make a different list of penalties, because there's a lot of penalties in Companies Act which are so similar, you tend to mix them up. So a list for that will be great. For audit, actually, I was not able to make notes because I did not have time. So I made notes for a few of the important chapters or the lengthier ones. But in audit, I did mark all the points, and for the definitions, I used to write keywords at the side in the textbook itself, and I had underlined all the portion because there are some things which are repetitive. So you just have to read the underlined part when you're revising. And in audit, the key is multiple revisions from the module language itself, I think.
So yeah, so law and audit is done. Basically, focus on sections, prepare your notes properly, and when you revise, also you should revise according to the name of the section. So that's the way you will remember all those sections. And for penalties, it's always like a lot of penalties are there. I think जो एग्जाम के एक दिन पहले आपने सही से देख के की है वो ही याद रहती है एग्जाम में. And you should go on and prepare because penalties usually you tend to forget. But एक अगर अलग से you have a note कि ये सब penalties है, this section है. So it's better to at the end ki how will you revise. So what all other subjects are there? Like now then we have taxation. What
okay, taxation. So in taxation, DT, I think DT is the one which is more vast and it will consume more time than IDT. In IDT, you can revise from the textbook itself. Textbook is very handy, and even there are in the new version of the textbook, they have summarized the chapter after each chapter, and those summaries are really very beautifully drafted, and you can just add a few points which are missing, and they'll be there your notes. And for GST, you have to practice a lot of questions because the exam paper is practically oriented, and if you cover all the RTPs and NPPs which I mentioned before, you'll be able to do the GST paper very easily. Then for the direct tax, you'll have to prepare notes because it is so vast. You'll need a summarized version to revise, and if you prepare the notes and keep on revising from them, you'll remember your notes more easily than the textbook language. And I guess DT mein revision is key and practicing lots of questions.
Yeah, so I think both for IDT and DT, pehle the notes should be proper, and I think IDT the book is very good. Like even in our times, the book was very good. Like you have a summary section at the end, and usually because IDT DT is a subject which changes normally, so you'll have to update those notes while when you're studying in classes. So that is important. Notes and all are there, and practice is very important because concept clarity यहाँ बहुत important है. You can't go कि यार रट्टा मार के कुछ कर लिया, ऐसा कुछ कोई भी subjects में नहीं होता ये चीज. So practice more level of questions from mocks and RTPs बहुत सारे हैं दिए हुए because GST is something new, and in CA final also it's similar like that. The questions will be practical. So if you don't understand the provisions, if you don't understand, then you won't be able to perfectly answer that question. So practice is the key for both the subjects, and DT हमेशा वास्ट रहा है. CA IPCC के लिए भी वास्ट है, and when you come to CA final you know that कि वो कुछ नहीं था IPCC में, that vast. So always be prepared for that, and yeah, practice a lot of questions in that. So now next is your costing subject. I don't know, costing my time was in final is usually very theoretical and practical both, but how's yours and how did you prepare for that?
Okay, so for intermediate, I think costing is more on the practical side itself. The theory thing is very quite less. But one of the things which I felt helped me perform good in costing is that I used to read the module, even the theory part, before solving the practical questions. Because if you read the theory part and then you solve questions, even if a new or tricky kind of question comes, you're able to understand the question and actually do it. But if you are just practicing the practical questions, you'll be able to solve only those questions which are similar to those which you have done. You'll not be able to tackle the new type of questions because that concept clarity would not be there. So I think for FM and costing both, you have to read the theory part to actually solve the practical part well. Even though the paper is 90% practical, you need to read the theory, and reading theory would help you. Like in our case, there were 2 compulsory 4 mark questions which we could not skip. And so if you read theory, you will be able to at least answer nicely, or maybe you will not go blank in those questions. And for costing, to just make a notes book where you can write the formulas, some few concepts, and the questions which you feel are good and which covers the chapters, or which helps you revise concepts which you find difficult, and you can revise them on a later stage.
Okay, right. So in costing also, in costing and FM also you should cover that. No, FM also. So both of this is practice. I think submit practice is very much because even I can see in IPCC a lot of practical subjects are there. In our times, I guess 2, 3 subjects were theoretical subjects properly. जो ऐसा होता है. But I think because you have a lot of 9 months where you are free. I guess everybody is free. College की पढ़ाई is not that much. So I think you should practice and practice a lot of these questions because practice will make you perfect and you'll be confident enough to give exams. Because of course, when you come in CA final, CA IPCC and CA final, you tend to become less confident because it's image ऐसा बना रखा है कि it's very hard. But if you practice a lot of questions, you have a confidence कि mock RTPs भी मैंने कर लिया, I'm able to solve these questions. You'll be able to build confidence among yourself, and that will help when you are giving the exams. So I guess last subject जो बचा है वो है ITSM. So I think
Yes.
इसलिए तो I was a मेरे को तो सिर्फ 40 नंबर आया था. I guess audit, ITSM and law मुझे 40 आया था. डॉट नंबर था मेरे को.
Wow.
To tell me what ITSM कैसे करना चाहिए because मेरे I guess IT का मैंने 15 marks अटेंड किया था and SM मैंने 50 अटेंड किया था मेरे टाइम पे and that's how I passed. You tell me how to study for IT.
For ITSM, I think the SM part is quite, less lengthy and easier to, understand and remember and, reproduce in the exam. So generally people focus a lot on IT, but they leave SM thinking that it is too easy. We'll write on our own words. But if you focus on SM, both are 50-50 mark papers. So you'll be able to grab more marks easily. So in SM, the language is easy. You can read from module. You can prepare notes if you wish. But there, the case study question is quite, sometimes it's tricky. So you'll need to practice those practical questions to understand which concept they are asking. For EIS, majorly you'll need to prepare notes again for the chapter, but from the module language. If there is a question which has 5 head points or 5 points, don't just remember the head points. Do remember the content which is written within the head points. Like if there's a head point, within that there are 2 paragraphs. So ensure that you have written the keywords of those paragraphs in your notes too, because not just the head points matter, even the content you write within the head points matters while they assess your paper. And they need their keywords, they need their language, their jargon in the paper to score well. So I think in ITSM the strategy will be this, and you'll need to revise a lot. You cannot, you'll not be able to perform well in just one reading. It will take time.
In theory subjects, it will, of course, you'll have to revise and revise again. So it's stuck in your mind, and then you'll be able to write answers. And also overall in the questions in all the subjects, is bookish language important? Like law, there's a legal language given. How do you write the answers? Matlab, do you have to write that kind of language as it is line by line likh rahe, or you can be writing in your own words? Some jargons has to be there. That is important. But how do you write that?
Actually, I feel when you read the law module once or twice, you get the hang of the, kind of not very plain English, but kind of their type of language. And then you can include the keywords which you have marked in your notes or highlighted. So with that, you'll be able to write an answer which they expect from you.
Right.
It should not be in a layman's language.
Okay. So you have to go through the, I think the study mat and the practical questions like mock and RTPs, how answers are written, and according to that you should write. Okay. And now moving on to once your course is done, so your revision time. How much time you spent on the revision after the proper course and everything classes is done, and how many revisions were you able to do? What is the ideal number of revisions which students should do?
Actually, when I completed my course for the first time, looking into the time, I thought I'll do 2.5 revisions. I'll do 2 revisions full and half, like in 2-3 subjects which are theory subjects again. But then my exams got postponed by 2 weeks or so, so I did 3 full revisions, and I think 3 revisions are more than enough for this course, as if you cover 3 times and first you have read, you'll be able to do it in exam.
Okay. So first I think the classes में what you have done, that is separate, and then after that 3 revisions in those 3.5 3 months you have, I guess.
Yes, but in the first revision, it was not that I had completed my course 100% before that. It was kind of 80% done. And in the first revision, I completed everything.
Mhm.
As the first revision was of 1 week, I had planned that I'll give 1 week for each subject. So in that, 80% of the work I had done before also. So I revised those things, and 20% new things I learned and covered that in the first revision. And second and third revision was fully revision.
Okay. Yeah, fast way of doing that. Now, so tell us, so now revision, how many subjects you should study in a particular day? What is the strategy? Is it some कुछ तो है कि यार you should not subject यार like 5 subject पढ़ रहे एक ही दिन में or 1 or 2 subjects? How did you do?
I think before my revision period, I did not mind doing any number, like 2-3 number of subjects in a day. I used to do it chapter wise, like I'll do one chapter of EIS, one chapter of FM, like that. But in my revision period, I wanted to focus on one subject solely. So I used to do one practical subject, then one theory subject, then one practical, like alternatively.
Okay.
But I used to study one subject at a time.
One subject for a day, no 2 subjects. So,
And I, like, for 1 week I used to study one subject, then for the second week second subject during the
okay,
revision.
okay.
Before that there was no such
हाँ,
constraint.
so
Like I used to
before
do
that, so
chapter
of
wise.
course, you are doing your classes, so अलग-अलग subjects are going on, and you can complete according to that. Got it, got it. And what is the importance of mock RTPs, test papers? You should write test papers or not? Did you write or not? उसके लिए क्या you want to say?
I think they are really vital to, you being able to perform in the actual exam, because when you read or learn some concept, you might have understood it perfectly, but the ability you also need is, like, you need to reproduce the same your understanding in the written form. And if you write papers after you revise the subject, it will help you give an insight whether you're able to remember or apply those concepts into practical questions, and what are the areas you need to focus in your next revision, or what are the areas which you are good at and you can maybe focus a little less on that and more on other things. So writing a paper is very vital. For me, I wrote a paper for each subject after one revision, so I did 3 revisions and 8 papers, so I wrote at least 24 papers.
So after every revision, you were writing papers. So you were
Yeah.
giving 2-3 hours for writing the papers.
Yes.
Okay. So that is very important. And in my time, I think IPCC के time में I'm frank, but I didn't know कि RTPs or something also exist that time. We just did what was taught to us, and I gave exam like that. तब मुझे पता भी नहीं था RTPs and mocks and everything is there. But that's very important if you are aiming for a rank or you are aiming to get passed. So I think that is important to write papers. I think depends on your situation. Like either if you are not able to write papers because you have less time, then you can at least go through all the questions in the paper and what are written in the answer. So that flow you have to maintain. I think that is important, and it's completely dependent upon you. If you think that you should write papers to get confident, so I think you should go for that. So
Maybe you can write few questions instead. If you don't have time to write the whole paper, select randomly 2-3 questions and
select
write
the
them down.
questions which you think that are tough. So let's write answer उसके लिए कैसे लिखेंगे, and then check कि यार that's matching with the suggested answers or not. So okay, that. So now moving on, your 3 months of revision is done, and then we come to directly 1.5 days of revision. So also 1.5 days you already remember कि यार जब से start किया classes, you know कि जो भी पढ़ रहे हैं वो अपन को 1.5 days में cover करना है before exam. So what was your strategy? Like revision करते time भी you would have already thought कि यार 1.5 days के लिए मुझे पढ़ना है. So how did you go about that? Whether you had already timetable prepared कि 1.5 days में मुझे कैसे करना है, और you thought कि 1.5 days का मैं उसी time देखूंगी कि कैसे करना है. So what was your strategy over there?
Okay, so you have to plan with them earlier ki what will you do in those 1.5 days. That's why you prepare notes, summarize things, mark the important points, and when you open a chapter, you should know that I have to read only these highlighted points and do the 3 questions which I have marked after those. You don't have to assess whether I have to do this or not. You should already be decided ki I have to do this much only before the exam. And for me, I used to divide it into 3 parts. The day when we have come home after giving the exam, So that day I used to cover, I had not selected that I'll do these chapters in written form, but I used to give assessment like 30% I'll have to do in this day, 70% I'll do the next day, and day before exam I'll just refer one or two RTP before going to the exam. So it covers the whole course in a slight 30 minutes time.
Right. Also, over here, I will suggest you when you're doing your second, third revision, if you're into that, just 2 months before or 1 month before you are doing your revision, that time, once you complete the subject, you should prepare a strategy ki 1.5 days mein how will you cover? Because उस exam के बाद ये time पे आए, then you will be able to cover. If you have time, then divided subject wise, chapter wise कि ये chapters मुझे अभी ये रात के दिन करने हैं, इस दिन में खत्म करने हैं, then next day every other falls, and what is the strategy कि ये पहले करना है, because this is very important. आपने mocks RTP solve किए तो there will be certain questions कि सब उस chapter से question तो आ ही रहा है, तो these are the chapters you should do first, then going forward up you can divide it, and here your notes will be more important, because यहाँ पर आपको पता चलेगा importance of notes, what is the importance of notes, because आपको जब classes कर रहे हैं तब you don't realize कि notes का importance क्या है, but जब you will be sitting 1.5 days जब वो subject आपको full cover करना है, that time the importance of notes come. Okay, so yeah, you want to add something?
I want to add something ki, even during the revision time first, like if you plan 1 week for one subject, then you gradually shift it to 3 days and then maybe to 2 days, then you get a sense of how to summarize the subject in lesser number of days, and you will be able to do it in 1.5 day too, if you gradually reduce the number of days.
Yeah. So gradually, of course, when we do revision, we gradually have to reduce these timings, and according to that, you will be prepared for that last particular 1.5 days. So now moving to your last 1.5 day strategy, then let's move to the exam day. जो दिन लिख रहे, I think you said that mock and RTP करना चाहिए, because you get a flow कि answers लिखे कैसे जा रहे हैं, and usually sometimes it happens कि mock RTP से questions आ जाते हैं और similar questions भी आ जाते हैं, so that is very important. Now 3 hours, I think 3 hours ही होता है ना IPCC में भी. You get 3 hours.
And reading time we get.
Reading time 15 minutes. So how do you spend your 15 minutes and then 3 hours? What is that strategy? पहले you would have thought कि मैं कैसे करने वाली हूँ. So tell us about that.
Okay, so for all the subjects in which there were MCQs, I used to utilize those 15 minutes to solve the MCQs, so that portion is completed. And then I used to solve each question as we go. I like, there is one optional question, like first is the compulsory one and then the rest are optional. So I used in foundation I got confused like which question to solve. I used to waste time deciding those things. So for intermediate I had decided I'll consider the first 5 questions itself, and if in one question I feel that I don't know, then only I look on to the 6th question.
Okay.
So
okay, you go in the flow. But
yeah.
So you didn't. So in 15 minutes you used to solve the MCQs. MCQs would be what, 30 marks?
Yes.
Okay, so 30 marks you were able to cover in 15 minutes only. 15 minutes you were able to decide.
Maybe not 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes more extra even after the reading time.
Around. Yeah. So MCQs also, if you want to say something to students about MCQ preparation, how do you do? Because हमारे time पे ये सब था नहीं. So people would be knowing what on MCQ preparation.
Actually, for MCQs, they try to ask questions which are more intricate and maybe more detailed, and so they like for audit and ITSM, they'll just pick up any line and give it to you, or maybe put up any definition. So for that you need to focus on the module. If you read the module, you'll be able to crack the MCQs. For taxation, the MCQs are quite lengthy. Like the first question they'll ask you calculate the total income, which is actually a 10-marker question. So it will consume time, and maybe you can keep it for the last if you feel like.
Yeah, if you understand कि यार ये question given for 2 marks है, but it usually 10 marks, it will take a lot of time. I think that you should 2 marks के लिए you should keep your time at the end, because that's how you manage time according to that. That's very important.
And for subjects like GST, there's no such thing. If you know, you'll know in 1 second. So, focus on solving GST MCQs first, then the paper, and then income tax MCQs. But if you feel confident, you can do them together too. It matters like what level of MCQs they're asking. And even for law, some of them are theoretical based MCQs like some basic things, and others are some practical situation based questions. So you'll get prepared for the MCQs while you're preparing the subject itself, I feel, and just practice a few MCQs few are given beside, after each chapter. And there are also some practice MCQs on the ICI's website, so you can practice those.
I think practice, हर जगह practice is very important. You should have to go through the questions which MCQs में आ रहा है, and you should judge ki, and then you should be pre-decide ki whether you want to solve the paper first or MCQs first. That depends upon you. Your strategy is that. So accordingly, go forward with that, and 15 minutes उसके accordingly spend करना है. If you want to do MCQs first, then spend that 15 minutes on MCQs only. Try to read everything and you able to answer that or not. And if you want to go with the questions first, then go through that questions first and then select कि ये सब मुझे आता है after one, and this optional I'll keep this as an option and others I will attend according to it. And one first question is usually bouncer, that compulsory question. I don't know IPCC में कैसा होता है, usually bouncer kind of question. So what we used to do in CA final कि उस question को end में रख लेते हैं, पहले बाकी करते हैं to gain confidence, and then last में वो कर लेंगे because it's very important, because 20 marks and everything and your marks are dependent on that question usually. Okay, so that is on exam time 3 hours, and also later a lot of people usually discuss papers. हम लोग एग्जाम के बाद पेपर डिस्कस करने बैठ जाते हैं, आधा एक घंटा एग्जाम सेंटर के बाद ही डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. सो व्हाट विल यू से दैट यू शुड डू दैट, नॉट डू दैट, लाइक यू शुड, व्हाट इज योर आंसर?
Actually, I feel you should not do that. You should leave, after you have given one paper, just leave that subject aside, get rest, do something which you like for hour and 1.5 hour, and then go on to the next subject. Because if you discuss the paper with your friend, you don't know even if the friend is correct or not, and there'll be some doubt. And whenever you have a free moment, you'll think about the paper and you'll get disturbed. So I think better to leave it at rest after it is over.
एक बार एग्जाम हो गया, उसको साइड में रखो. Even if you know that you have written a right or wrong answer, you cannot change anything. It's better to move on, and that's why you don't next subject should not be affected because of this subject. Because कुछ papers होते हैं in every time in IPCC and CA final की कुछ particular subjects होते हैं जहाँ पर सब hard आएगा. Will be bouncer question, but what happens, ये सब ऐसे ही होता है, normal होता है. ये question जैसे हमारे पास DT होता था कि DT would be ब्लास्ट, ये सब्जेक्ट बहुत वैसा आने वाला है, क्वेश्चंस कहीं से भी आ सकते हैं. तो यूजुअली इट हैपेंस कि यार अपन ने क्या सॉल्व किया, उसने क्या सॉल्व किया, इज वेरी डिफरेंट एंड यू डोंट नो, एंड यू इट टेंड्स टू टेक कि नेक्स्ट एग्जाम ना इफेक्ट हो जाए. एंड इट हैज हैपेंड मेरे पास आईपीसीसी में. व्हाट आई फाउंड कि ये बहुत हार्ड सब्जेक्ट, हार्ड पेपर आया था, उसमें सबसे ज्यादा नंबर आ जाते हैं. बिकॉज कभी कभी होता है कि पेपर में चेकिंग लीनियंसी हो जाती है और समथिंग लाइक दैट, बिकॉज इट्स हार्ड फॉर एवरीवन, इट्स नॉट हार्ड फॉर यू. सो डोंट वेस्ट टाइम इन डिस्कसिंग दैट एंड ruin your next paper for that. So that is important. Next would be how you have given both groups. So both groups is usually decided when you start studying for that. So what will you say? Because a lot of people, what people do is they automatically judge themselves कि यार मेरे से 2 group तो नहीं होगा, I'll go with 1 group only. So what will you suggest them कि अगर both groups देना है तो वो strategy starting से रहनी चाहिए, या when you're doing revisions that time you should understand कि यार सब course हो गया, now you can do both groups or not? What is that?
Okay, so I think that it should be a pre-decided thing that you have to do 2 groups, and you should not be in confusion unless there is something very abstract or unbelievable or unexpected. You should think that you should give 2 groups together. You should treat it as 1 group of 8 subjects, I think, and you should be prepared for giving 2 groups from the starting of the preparation. Then only you focus.
Correct. Or also you can do, what you can do is when you are revising, take 1 subject of group 1, 1 subject of group 2. So you both are getting revised together. But that's what we used to do in your finals. And group 1 and 2 is very important because वो set off मिलता है, and I am the one who got set off. मुझे एक ग्रुप में 147 आया था, and दूसरे ग्रुप में ज्यादा आया था, तो ही I was able to clear IPCC. And it has happened with my friends. I've seen, because they have given group 1 and group 2, and group 2 usually used to be a theoretical subject, काफी YTS में उसमें आ जाता था. So they were not able to clear because they used to take 2 or 3 attempts to clear that. So that's the reason why. And start से prepared, be prepared for कि अब एक group ही है 8 subject का, and be prepared for that. And that's how you give. Then normal questions like how much time you were spending on social media, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever you were. So like कब छोड़ देना चाहिए या छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए, because we can spend, what is your view on that?
Actually, I did not leave any of the social media because of the exams. I used to keep my phone aside while studying, so automatically I was cut off from social media while I was studying. But during the breaks, I used to look at my phone at night, and for me, it was not so much as an addiction. But if you feel that you have become a bit addicted, you can keep it off for a few days, or take gradual breaks. What feels best for you, you should do that in this case, I think.
What is best for you, you only know, and accordingly stop, because आज के ज़माने में you cannot be completely cut off from that. Last month, if you want to be, you can be, because lot of, I think you'll miss out on knowledge and something like that on that. But I think that's what, if you're studying in a room, then keep your phone outside only. Like while studying, don't get distracted from phones. And I've seen lot of groups being made on WhatsApp, Telegram, ये सब में बहुत groups बनते हैं जब doubt solving होता है. I think that, were you part of any kind of groups, or will you suggest people to be a part of these kind of groups? Because I think मेरे time पे भी बहुत groups बने थे. I left everything. Now what is your view on that?
Actually, I am a bit unaware about these type of groups, and I was not part of any such WhatsApp or Telegram groups. But I feel if you join these groups, you'll get distracted even more. Instead, you can just contact two or three of your friends, and maybe with few teachers if you have some doubts. That would be much better than joining groups.
That's better. I think in groups and all, I think waste a lot of your time, gets you confused and all. I think it's better to avoid these kind of groups and focus on your studies. Any doubt, you can call your teachers and ask, yeah, whatever it is, whatever it is. Or call your friends and ask. I think that's the one. And now I guess we won't take much of time. I think I already have taken. Now for May 21, those students who would be preparing, what will you suggest that? May 21, only 2 months are left from here, March and April. So what will you suggest them? How should they go about their studies wherever they are right now? And give some motivation.
Okay. So, hello. Can I join 1 minute?
1 second, no problem.
So for the students who are going to appear in May 21, I think take a pause, reassess, assess your situation for all the subjects, understand where you are at this point. I think make a plan. It will take an hour or so, but if you prepare a plan according to the current situation which you are in, you'll be able to better utilize the 2.5 months which you have in front of you. Focus on things which you feel you are not able to perfect, or you'll need practice for those subjects, and just go on and be look forward to the day when you'll receive your result. And I think that is the best motivation one can have.
I think more motivation is different when just think यार after your exams 1 month or 2 month बाद आपको result दिखने वाला है screen पे. And what do you want? If you want pass, you have to study properly. And this is the time when you, last 2 months are very important. Like every passing day is becoming more and more important for you. And just be focused on that and don't waste your time on different things. And if you're focusing on two groups, then focus on both the groups together. Don't, ऐसा नहीं हो कि यार एक group को ज़्यादा time दे रहे, दो group को, second group को नहीं दे रहे. So that focus should be there. And I think don't be that much don't have that, and don't have like, I'll say, because even when I have given my exams, मैंने एक महीने में revision किया था. That time I remember, because I went to my home and I gave my exams from there only. So I guess I did my complete revision in 1 month, because I was in Bombay and I used to be involved in college also. College में भी पढ़ाई चल रही है, and इधर भी college exams के लिए मैं Bombay गया था. Then I came back from here for my final exam. So that's why I prepared. But when the last 1 month kiya tha, I guess completely I given my time to studies only. And that time the social media was not that big. We never used to spend a lot of time on phones. So that's very important. I guess अगर आप focused हो, determined हो, and you're studying completely, concept clarity always you have, and you keep on solving questions, या जो भी practical questions है या theory है, you're giving each and every subject important time, I think you'll be able to clear the exams. And if you need motivation or something, go and watch on YouTube videos. Just remember that wo jo din aane wala hai, you won't pass and how your parents will feel, how you will feel. And I guess that's the best motivation anyone can have. And now, like Shreya, now what you have joined is the final. Where are you joining your articleship? So just tell about this. Will be last question from my side.
I'll be joining Deloitte for tax articleship.
Okay, so already started. Your journey is started over there.
No, it will start from tomorrow.
Oh, okay, okay. All the best for that. And I think I was in Deloitte in statutory audit department when after clearing exam, after clearing IPCC. So if you need some help or something like that, tax is different. I did tax in KPMG, but if you need any help in that, or I think Ahmedabad mein hai, so it's chill for you that you are at home only. You are good at home
Yeah,
that time.
that is the advantage.
Good. All the best for that. And thank you so much for coming here and clearing a lot of questions, which will help, I guess, future IPCC students after they clear CA Foundation. There'll be something to watch for and how to prepare for that. I think it will be very useful at our time. I don't know कि ऐसा कोई videos available होते थे, but I think technology is giving us chance to go for that and do for people around us. And thank you for that. And anything you want to say in large for the CA Foundation people after clearing that will be watching this? Anything you want to say for that?
I think after you clear CA Foundation, you have a time period where you feel ki inter is far away, and you'll study after few months or maybe few weeks. And I like to say ki you don't need to be in full preparation mode from the starting, but just try to complete the chapters or the lessons you are learning currently. At least in the weekly form, you'll be able to keep no backlog maybe, and then only you'll able to be complete the course.
Yeah, go forward with that. ऐसा नहीं कि पहले दिन ही लेके सब सब्जेक्ट देखने लग गए. Go in the flow. Like जो classes में चल रहा है, if you are going for classes, then go with the flow. How what is being done in classes, revise that thing first, and that's how you move forward. Okay. Thank you, Shreya, again for coming here. And I think thank you everyone for watching this video. And if there is any questions, you can mention on the comment section. Either me or Shreya will be able to reply for that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.